All right, gang, guess what? We have the draw for the prize for week 2 of. So, what I do is I go through all the reviews on Apple, iTunes, and I pick one of the reviews to give a prize to, one of the reviewers who give a prize to. So, this week's prize winner is Steph Ganowski. Now, you didn't leave an Instagram handle or anywhere that I can contact you. So I hope you're going to be listening to this episode and that you reach out to me. I'm going to do some more searching on social media to try and find you. But depending if that's your real name. But anyways, Steph Ganowski, who placed a review in April, I believe is April or May, you are the winner of this week's draw. So welcome and congratulations, and make sure you reach out and so I can get your address and I can send you a really cool, nice little card and a gift from me. Thank you very much. And remember, everybody, get your reviews in, have a listen, give us your biggest takeaway, or what you could do is screenshot and tag me on social media and your name will go into the draw for that week. But make sure you put a review because everybody who makes a review will be in the grand prize draw at the end of 10 weeks, which will be our 100th episode, a big celebration, and also leading into the Olympics. So thank you very much, guys, and have an amazing weekend. Don't forget to share with your friends podcast. And so this is Friday's Coach's Corner, and I just wanted to share something with you that happened to me this week because I know this happens to everybody. So if you're a cyclist, can you just think about the 1 or 2 times that you fell over on your bike because you couldn't clip out of your cleats? Just raise your hand because I know that you're out there, because whether you're new or seasoned like myself, it always happens at least a couple times. Well, not a couple times in a season. Try not to make that happen, but it happens. And, before I get into telling you about this and ensuring you that you are not alone, I just wanted to remind you that we have a contest happening on, and I need your help to get reviews. Please go to iTunes and place a review there. I'm giving out prizes for people who put your reviews. And also, I just want to hear from you your takeaways, what you like about the podcast, some of your favorite episodes, and honestly, what you'd like to hear. But most of all, get those reviews in and ratings. And if you're so inclined, screenshot and put it on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram and tag me, and you can go in the contest there as well if you can't get in for the review, because all kinds of social media is good media, right? People get to say, hey, what was that? And I know lots of people are listening to podcasts these days. I listen to them regularly when I ride. Over music. I love the learning aspect. There's so many podcasts out there to learn from if you're looking for motivation, business, love, self-development, cycling, stuff like mine. I even listen to a bunch of cycling related coaching that are way over and above what I do, because I love sharing stories of people who are in cycling and use cycling to change their lives, or on really cool journeys. So let's get into, so don't forget to go into iTunes and place your review and your rating. And if you can, screenshot and tag me on Instagram. All right. So let me tell you that falling off your bike, and I have a women's cycling club. For last 13 years, I've coached over 1,000 women. And I see this all the time. A lot of newbies, and even if you've been cycling for a while, you have you're afraid to get those cleats, right? Those clip-in pedals, and take it to the next level. Because honestly, once you do that, you are going to the next level, because having yourself clipped into your bike, even though you can survive without it nicely and do very well, it does make you more efficient. I won't lie. Like for hill climbing, it's just easy. I wouldn't say it's easier, but it just helps being able to pull up on your pedals, and then power down is just makes your climb a little bit easier. I'm not going to say it's going to make it easier, because it's not. Skill makes it easier. Practicing makes it easier, but being clipped in does improve your efficiency a lot. So there's that. That's the whole premise, like taking it to the next level, going from flat pedals to clipped in pedals. And so, anyways, and just so you know, once you get there, here's a couple things that you can do to make your transition much easier. Okay, first, if you have a trainer at home, put your clips on your bike and practice. Practice training with them, pedaling with them, clipping in and out. And number two, make sure you can adjust the tightness of your cleats. Okay, that's very important. A lot of people don't know that. You look at the back of your bike cleats, and there's a little screw. It says negative and positive. Positive makes it tighter, negative makes it looser. So go in and make those changes, so that it's easier. And if you find that your foot is just so tight in those pedals and you want a little bit of float, do that too. Okay, so that's number two. Number three, for the love of God, do not go to a parking lot and practice. Okay, because I know so many people who have broken their arms because they've fallen and they put their arm out thinking that that's going to catch their fall, and they break things from your wrists, your bones, your elbows, and you can even put your shoulder out. So please, for the love of God, go to a grassy park. Who cares who's watching? Because you can practice, and when you fall on grass. You're not going to injure yourself. Okay, so those are the things that I always state, to help you as a beginner get started. Now, I'm going to tell you about my story, because it's funny. And I had to laugh, because I could it's one of those slow-mo. Anyways, that slow-mo motion, like you're falling. And I know it happens to everybody, but here's a couple things. You make sure that now what was I saying? I lost my train of thought. Okay, so I was going to tell you about my story. Now, so this happens to everybody. It usually happens at a stop sign or a stop light when you come to a stop and you're not prepared to clip out and put your foot down. It always happens. Okay, so here's the thing, just be more aware of your environment, and when you're coming to a stop, you unclip and put your foot down. So you anticipate, so you can unclip, put your foot on the pedal, and then stop. Now, so this is what happened to me. So I was cycling on Tuesday. I was going out for this little ride, and I was on a hill, and this is things that I'm going to teach my club, and as a coach, I teach, is approaching to the hill, getting into a proper gear, because you don't want to drop your chain, and B, if you do drop your chain, you have a 50% chance of getting it back on. So this is what I figure happened to me. I went to shift my gears from the big ring to the small ring to go this little hill. But when I was in the back cassette, like my back gears, I was in an improper gear. I was either too high or too low. I was not sort of centered, and therefore my chain ended up dropping off the front. And like I said, you got a 50% chance of getting it back on. So I switched it, and it was catching. But underneath, at the bottom, it was sticking. My chain was sticking. So I was dropping it off, putting it back on. And in the meantime, I was slowing down. So again, I'm like trying to change my gear. I'm not moving. I'm slowing down, and and then to the point where I was so slow, I was starting to fall over, and I could not clip my feet out. I remember looking back, and my next worst fear is everybody's worst fear is falling into traffic. So I look back and I could see this car approaching me. And the thing is that, and then I look down and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm falling on the white line. My head's going to be in the traffic. This is like on a backcountry road, it's not in the city. But in any case, it doesn't matter. If he's not paying attention, he could hit me. Um, and so I'm falling and I cannot clip out. So I'm slow mo. And the thing is, like, here's another thing how you fall. Remember, I was saying, don't put your hand out, don't put your arm out. You always hold on to the handlebars and you fall on your side. Okay, just fall. Just let it happen. Let your handlebars take it all. And my knee took it all. Well, my knee, I got a little scrape up. But the thing is, as I'm like looking at my pedals and my bike, and the guy behind me is seeing that I'm in distress and he's slowing down. And I don't know, and then here's the best part, and you love this, is this group of guys, male cyclists, are like coming in the other direction and they're watching me, I guess. I have no clue. Fall. So I'm like falling, like down, and I fall and I'm still clipped into my damn bike, like both feet. I'm just like, get this fucking bike off of me. And then these guys pedal up and they're like, oh my God, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. I just like, I was dropped my chain, the chain wasn't getting on, and I was kept on slowing, and then I couldn't unclip my pedals, and then I fell. And the guy who passed in the car slowed down, got out, and I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. And I just like, I couldn't get my feet out of my pedals. So I just wanted to tell you that it's okay. It's okay to fall over. But and it happens. Don't take your hands off your handlebar first and foremost. Don't ever do that. If I can tell you anything, and just know that you get back on. You get back on your bike. So even if you have little falls, everything happens, like things happen on the road. Like you hit a curb and you fall. When you're starting to lose like your, like when you're getting into your skills, you fall. Like you might have a fall. I've had falls. And all I want to tell you is that get back on your bike. Don't let it define you. Don't let it stop you from riding. I know a lot of women who've have had really bad injuries, and I know sometimes that they can be really significant. But don't let it stop you loving your bike. And that's all I want to say is that getting back on, it's like getting back on the horse. Honestly, when you fall off a horse, it fucking hurts. Like, and I've fallen off a horse. I grew up on horses, but you got to get back on the horse. You got to get back on the bike. And I just want to reiterate that and encourage you that if something like that happens, then, take some time, take care of your injuries if you have some, and make it happen. I know one of my teammates, this is a long time ago, 15 years ago, she crashed. I think it was a door, like somebody opened up their door and she flew off her bike like this, and broke both of her wrists. And what she did, I had a spinning studio at the time. She was my teammate. She came in like 4 times a week. We set up our spin bike, and she literally sat on the bike with her elbows on the handlebars, and she spun all summer long until she could get back on the bike. So there's always a way. You always have to think of a way to make it happen. Don't let yourself out of the game. Concussions are other things, right? They're different for everybody. I want to encourage you. I have a lady who is a concussion specialist. She's going to be on the podcast later on. Make sure you have your notifications on. You don't want to miss that one. She is phenomenal. She's Canadian. She is a specialist in injuries, in concussions, and she was just amazing to talk to. But so yeah, so make sure you put your notifications on, and reach out to somebody to talk. If it's me, you can reach out to me. Just say, hey, I had a fall. I just want to talk about it, because these things happen, right? And I just want to know that it's normal depending on what your injury is. Take care of your injury, and then come back to cycling, right? It's so empowering. And anyways, so that's my thoughts for Friday. Falling happens. Here's another thought. The stronger you are in your body, your muscles, the faster you're going to bounce back. So women, it's so important for us to build up strong muscle mass. And I'm not talking bodybuilding. I'm talking about having building muscles around your bones and your joints. So if you ever do fall, you can bounce back quicker, because you have the padding around your body, your hips, your butt, your quads, your arms, your shoulders, your back, and it's not going to be as impactful when you fall. Impactful. It's not going to impact your body as much as it would if you were more lean and frail and your muscle mass was non-existent. Because I know we all love to cycle, and cycle is a great way for health, but muscle mass and nutrition is what helps and accelerates recovery. So that's a whole other topic, but maybe we'll segue into that for next week. And I did put an episode on strength training for women and why it's important as cyclists, because we can't ignore that. And I just want to say, I fell on my knee. It probably could have been worse if I didn't have strong muscles around my knees, like my calves and quads. But I do feel it in my leg. And I think it's just because I fell attached to my bike. But in any case, so if you love these episodes, remember, we have that contest going on. Please put your notifications on, subscribe, follow, whatever, wherever you are, and make sure and get those ratings and reviews in. We'd love you. I want to give out prizes. All right. Take care. Have an amazing day.